Hey guys, what's up? Today in the Brick Lab we're going to be making the newest member of the Council of the Crystal King, the Mechanic. My version of the Mechanic is a lot easier to make than he looks at first, so what we're going to do is start with the same legs that I used in my other previous custom crystallized videos, and that is the legs from the Inferno Squad Battle Pack. And then on top of that, I added in this torso piece, which comes from the Star-Lord minifigure from last year's collectible minifigures line. I think it really matches the style that the original Mechanic's jacket had, and that's kind of what I'm going for with the look of these crystallized villains. Obviously, the actual minifigures have that crystallized purple bodysuit, which is identical between all of the villains, and I feel like that's kind of bland and kind of takes away from their unique personalities a little bit, so I'm going to switch it up and give them as many different outfits as I can. So there's the Mechanics. So from there, we're going to add on this backpack piece, which was, I think, originally used with the Outrider minifigures from the Infinity War sets. It's a pretty handy piece, and you can do a lot with it, as I'm sure you're no doubt aware. And then on top of that, we're just going to add the Mechanic's head and hat from his appearance in the Ninjago City Gardens. Now, if you want some alternatives to the head and the hat, I actually made a video a couple years ago detailing that before we actually got an official Mechanic minifigure, but I think those choices are still pretty relevant, so if you want some options, you can just check out that video right here. Next up, we're going to give the Mechanic his first weapon, and that is that little arm cannon that he has. So to make it, I just used the standard arm cannon piece, along with a pink energy blast and a cone here. Next up, we can make his other weapon here, which I guess you don't have to since it's not canon, but I thought it was pretty neat. It's just a little machine gun here. If you want to make it, it's pretty easy. It just uses a robot arm, one of these T-shaped pieces, a stud with a hole in the center, and then a lightsaber hilt. And there you go. If you want to give it that crystallized energy effect, all you need to do is add on one of these Power Blast pieces along with another pink cone. Just plug it in, and there you go. It looks pretty intimidating. Obviously, it's not something we'll ever see in the show, but I thought it was a pretty nice touch. So the last thing we need to do is make the Mechanic's arms, which were surprisingly useful for him in the season. I don't remember him using them to that effect in the past, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, anyway, they were pretty cool, so let's go ahead and make them, because it's just not right to make the Mechanic without them. These arms were actually designed by an Instagram user named Jack Harlan, who used them for a Doc Ock minifigure, and they're pretty cool. So to make one of the units of the arms, you're going to start with this clip piece here, which is going to clip into the back. You're going to use this robot claw with a stud with a hole in it. I'm using gray and black because I feel like those are pretty cool, although, you know, you could probably switch it up with whatever colors you want. So then from there, you're going to use one of these slightly different bar attachment pieces, and then another robot claw with a stud in the center. Plug that together and put that on. And then you're just going to make a bunch of units of those. So I have 4 on this arm, and I think that's actually long enough, although the more you have, obviously you can keep expanding it out. And then just to differentiate it from the other units, for the end claw, I just made that one black, just so that you can tell that it's the end of the arm. And we can go ahead and add the machine gun in right there, and that looks good. Let's do the exact same thing for the other side. And then we just need to make the lower claws, and those are a lot easier. You're going to use one of these robot arms that's bent at an angle, and then add in a claw with a stud there, and then another one of these bar connector pieces, and there you go. That's it. Now, you don't have to use the one that's bent. You could actually just use another straight one, and that would honestly work just as well, I think. The reason why I'm using the crooked one there is just because I think that it adds a little more mechanical detail. I could be wrong about that, but I just like the way it looks, so that's why I'm using it. Don't feel like you have to do exactly what I do. Feel free to switch it up a little bit. Anyway, once we have that, all we need to do is give the Mechanic his little crystallized cup of noodles here. One more thing here, Lloyd. Now, if you're wondering how I got Lloyd to dangle from the Mechanic's arm, all you need is one of these handy little, I'm really not sure what the exact name for them is. They're like, you know, those things that hold minifigures in action poses, and from there, what you're going to do is just plug Lloyd in, just twist it around to hide that little holder piece, and there you go, there's the Mechanic. And of course, I obviously had to add in a stand so that he could stand on his own. But once you have that, there you go. Your Mechanic is ready to absolutely just devastate Ninjago City. So yeah, that's our brief look at the Mechanic. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys are able to follow along, make your own custom Mechanics. If there are other builds you'd like to see me make, just feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will see what I can do. Anyway, that's all we have today, so we'll see you next time.